President Morehead, family, friends, colleagues, and graduates, it is truly an honor to speak to you on this very special day. To our graduates, congratulations on a job well done. To the family, friends, and supporters gathered here, I share your joy in seeing these students successfully reach the end of their programs. Of course, this is not the end, graduates. We hold commencement ceremonies to mark the beginning of the next chapter of your lives. For me, commencement is always the best day at the University of Georgia. I was honored earlier today to have special guests here, my brother and sister-in-law and several dear friends, as well as my parents watching online. Their love and support have guided me through good times and bad, and I cherish them. I also have many honor students and a former colleague graduating today with degrees. My very best wishes to you all. Graduates, the tripartite mission of this great university is to teach, to serve, and to inquire into the nature of things. As candidates for advanced degrees, you have spent dedicated time in scholarship and research, inquiring into the nature of things. Your inquiry has led to mastery of your subject matter. Your lives will forever be changed by the instruction you have received. My own graduate studies focused on 19th century American literature. I will share a few choice quotations with you today, but my mind was pulled in a very different direction as I considered this address. I am not a scientist, but I enjoy research and discovery. I am not an astronaut, but I am inspired by space. None of us is defined by one interest or one achievement. Walt Whitman wrote, "I am large, I contain multitudes," and that is true of you as well. Your curiosity, your excitement in discovery, and your capacity for wonder, all these will sustain you as a lifelong learner. You see, higher education is not the conclusion of an academic journey. It is the foundation of future dreams. So today, I will be talking about building your dreams. On July 20th, 1969, when I was 2 years old, my parents drove more than 10 hours from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Willard, Ohio, to watch the Apollo 11 moon landing on my grandmother's brand new color television. It may be hard for you graduates to even imagine such early technology, but my parents owned a small black and white television in the 1960s, and they wanted their children to have the full moon landing experience. When we arrived in Ohio, they sat the two of us in front of my grandmother's color TV to watch that historic moment as Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. As it turns out, NASA filmed the moon landing in black and white. But I still love that my parents were so filled with wonder at the moon landing that they wanted us to see it in living color. A few years later, I learned to read. I read a children's book entitled, "You Will Go to the Moon." It was written by May and Ira Freeman and published in 1969, 10 years before the Apollo 11 mission, 10 years before Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon. It begins, "The moon is up there, far away. No one has been there yet, but someone will go there soon. Someday you may go there too." I loved this book. It was written for beginning readers. I could read it myself. I read it knowing that we had already gone to the moon. I understood that adults had been dreaming about space, thinking about how to build a rocket and moon vehicles, and then people built them and went to the moon. Someone dreamt it, and then they did it. The ending of that book reads, "Now look out at the sky. Do you see that big dot up there? That is Mars. Mars is a long, long way from the moon. What would you find on Mars? No one knows yet, but someday you may go there too. Then you will see." Why am I talking about space on your commencement day? Well, the collective imagination of many of us was captured last month when we watched the launch of Artemis II spacecraft and then watched it circle the moon and return successfully to Earth. NASA's mission for the Artemis program is to send astronauts on increasingly difficult missions to explore the moon as they prepare to send a crew to Mars. The images that were sent from the astronauts last month were truly objects of wonder, detailed surface shots of the moon, and pictures of Earth that were breathtakingly beautiful. Their voyage is something for us all to celebrate. It is also a testament to the rigor and value of graduate education. The instruments monitoring air quality on the Orion spacecraft contained a laser spectroscopy instrument developed by Jeff Pilgrim, a UGA alumnus from the Franklin College of Arts and Sciences. He earned his PhD in 1995 under Professor Michael Duncan in the Department of Chemistry. I'm sure he would attest that space exploration requires teamwork, as do all complex projects. Today's research scientists and scholars are tackling many grand challenges through dedicated work that takes place over decades in collaboration with colleagues across the globe. In this room with you today are fellow graduates who will change the way you and I see the world, the way we communicate, teach, serve, invest, harvest, and govern. Who knows where your own journey will take you and what wonders you will see along the way? Who knows the teammates you will meet as you undertake great work? Professor Emeritus Brahm Verma, who played a key role in establishing UGA's College of Engineering, visited me in my office in Moore Hall earlier this semester. He told me he often says to graduate students, "Successful researchers are not the ones who find the solution to the question. They are the ones who think deeply about what the question is." Whether you have pursued physics or finance, anthropology or the fine arts, or any other discipline, by committing yourselves to graduate education, you have furthered your understanding of this world. What questions will you ask next? What problems will you work to solve? What will you dream and do? The late President Emeritus Michael F. Adams, who passed away in January, was my mentor. He often quoted the 1785 Charter of the University of Georgia. It outlines the purpose of higher education and underscores our obligation to this nation's young people, calling them the rising hope of our land. Graduates, you are the rising hope of our land. We cannot wait to see what you will do. Your ambition and curiosity set you on the path. Your dreams will lead you onward. In one of my favorite movies, Gene Wilder, portraying Willy Wonka, sings, "If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it." Commencement speeches are often filled with advice. I don't have a long list of advice. I will simply conclude with one suggestion. Tonight, while you are filled with energy from this celebration and this day, go outside and look up. Look up in wonder at the night sky. It is filled with stars that have inspired philosophers, mathematicians, scientists, and poets for centuries. In his 1836 transcendentalist essay, Nature, Ralph Waldo Emerson concludes that if humanity saw stars only once in 1,000 years, we would preserve the memory for generations. But, as he reminds us, every night come out these envoys of beauty and light the universe with their admonishing smile. Emerson is right. The stars are there every night for you. They invite you to consider your place in this vast universe, to consider what you will dream and what you will do. So look up, be curious, inquire into the nature of things, live your wonderful, wonder-filled lives. Wherever your next steps take you, remember the people who supported you along the way, your faculty, your parents, your family, and your friends. Today, you are their stars. Today, you light up their world. Congratulations.